So, as you guys know, if you're tuning in right now, it is a Tuesday. I think on the weekly schedule because we just had Monday. Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. So, you know what time it is, baby. It is time for Home Bars Live. It is a show that you have been tuning into on a Tuesday because you like things that start with the letter T, such as the show Home. Anyway, so without further ado, we're going to get this ball rolling. I got two guests with me that I have been dying to talk to for a while. I get a chance to bring them to you. So from me to you, to them, to us, we are going to be doing this together. And that is none other than Dallas and my dude, David Dorton. But we're going to start off with Double D. So there's a whole lot of D's going on today. But this one, we're going to start with the Double D. And this is my man, David Dorton, checking in from Chicago. D, what's up, dog?
How we doing, man? Good to see you.
Good.
It's been way too long.
Yeah, so this show is Home Bars Live, and I see you are sitting behind your lovely bar setup. So do you want to give us a little talking to or a little show us what you got sitting up there on that shelf?
Yeah, happy to. So I'm just gonna take this whole big old computer and slide it back. This was never set up to be a home office. It was set up to be a room that we could use and function, and then COVID hit, so everything's changed around. So this is actually something I renovated out of an old TV cabinet. Got bored one day, bought it, and actually changed it around a little bit. I took the TV out, and hopefully you guys can see that okay. Built in a little shelf for some glassware. Ooh, and making noises. So nice little pull-out shelf for the glassware. Just a fun little display set. As of course got a little Muppet glassware in there. So it's kind of some fun stuff. So this is kind of the bar I'm most proud of. In the house, really, we have a couple of setups because between me and my partner, her collection's outstanding. My collection's pretty decent. We've got a lot of different things set up around the house. This one is definitely by far my favorite. Got the product I've been working on for the last year or so, almost 2 years. Ritual Zero Proof, which is a non-alcoholic product, which it's what you can drink when we're trying to take a little break. Just if you want to swap out some amazing products for some of our amazing products. What else do you want me to tell you about it? I think we were talking about a couple of favorite bottles, right?
Yeah, if you got maybe, I'm pretty sure you might have a two hovering around in there that you might enjoy.
So this one was an important one. This was actually 1964 cellar collection from the Glenlivet. It's a dangerous box. There is less than an ounce left in this bad boy. It's kind of one of my favorite bottles. It just stays in the back and hangs out. Has some really good memories attached to it. Some old work stuff. It's a lot of fun. Gave a dram to an old colleague one time, and he just sat there and he sat in my office. He goes, "Can I have a minute alone?" I just left him in my office with the glass and just kind of walked away and let him do his thing. He really enjoyed it. So another fun one. So a few bottles back here. Where is this bad boy? So I did do a little stint at WhistlePig. Had a lot of fun working at that company. This is my only signed bottle from Dave Pickerel. It was never important. And actually until he passed. And this is actually received this after he passed as a prize I won. And so it's kind of one of my special ones. I haven't opened it and probably never will. Maybe I will on a special day, but it's kind of really, really fun and important to me. And yeah, there's some really, really fun ones. Speaking of goofy fun ones, little Wild Turkey 101, signed by all the Russells. So kind of a nice little memory there too. So
that looks a little familiar.
Yeah, I know. A couple people those floating around. They actually popped in for a USBG meeting at one point. Had a lot of fun with them. So took some photos. So that's kind of my favorite spot.
Oh man. So first and foremost, man, it is so good to see your face. We have our own little private chat that we have a litany of pictures that we send one another. But I want to talk about what you've been working on. So you got the Ritual behind you. You're talking about, there's no alcohol in there. It's a non-alcoholic. So tell me about it and what are some of the flavors you got going and where can people find it?
For sure. So I joined honestly right when we started selling. last year, August, September, we started, actually 2019, sorry, we started selling. The reason I hopped over, I left Whistle Pig and went to it. It was such a new category. Obviously, Seedlip's been around a little bit, and since then, 25 to 50 new products have popped up. But one of the fun things for us is we really we wanted a product easy to use. If you've had, you know how to make a gin and tonic, you know how to make a ritual gin and tonic. It was an easy thing to drink while you're not drinking. We're all busy. Unfortunately, some of us are getting older. Hangovers start lasting a couple of days. So for us, it was about moderation. It was built out of necessity. It was built out of one of the founders wanted the product, or wanted something to kind of replace his products, his drink. And it became something of a passion project that formed into a brand. It ends up that one of my best friends actually is one of the founders. And it's the first time we've ever gotten a chance to work together. He usually works in natural food. And really, again, the reason I hopped on, it was such a new category, such a fun thing. After 20 years of working in tobacco and spirits and beer and other areas, it was fun to do something new and help build a category and help shape a category. So really excited about it. We launched with our gin and our whiskey to some really good reviews, some mixed reviews because people have some very specific things they like about whiskey. And then we launched tequila, as you do right in the middle of the pandemic. We launched it in April of last year. Really fun thing. We won the BTI's Best 2020 Non-Alc with that. Also, randomly, the Best Embossed Label. So not only does it taste great, it looks great. Pretty happy about both of those awards. Find it. You can find it in a lot of places. Total Wine and Spirits is kind of our biggest client right now. The easiest way is Amazon or our website. But we are going into more brick and mortar as we speak, more on and off-premise locations around the country. So really excited about our growth. Just kind of fun to see a lot of new brands come into the area as well. Working with a lot of those brands to help create a bigger and better category. So people, when they are taking a shorter extended break or a forever break from alcohol, they still have a good cocktail. One of my big personal goals, and you know, some people notice this, some that don't. When you walk into a bar and you ask for something non-alcoholic, a lot of times you get an eye roll. You get it from the person beside you, you get it from the bartender. Your friends look at you and like, what's wrong? Are you okay? You're like, no, I just don't want to drink. Like, I just don't want to drink right now. I got to get up at 5 a.m. and do a presentation, whatever it might be. I'm training and trying to, you know, cut weight a little bit. All those fun little things. My personal goal is to destigmatize not drinking while you're in a social setting. And there's a whole lot of great brands out there that are helping do that. I have 4 different non-alc beers in my fridge. I still drink. For me, it's a little bit about balance. It's a little bit about kind of just kind of going back and forth. Just like people who are buying the vegetarian and vegan options at the grocery stores are not necessarily vegetarians or vegans. They're just people that want to have a nice balance in their life.
That's real. That's real. So we met in Portland over it was the registration. We met over a registration table. And when we were introduced, we were told that we were going to be fast friends. Fast forward years later, it was definitely the truth. One of my favorite stories, and this is, a classic story. And if anyone has watched this show, you've heard this story before with PK and Ryan. I placed a phone call to this lovely human after a situation that popped up at an Airbnb that I was staying in. He shows up and he's like, dude, I got you. I still can't thank you enough for fixing you fixed the door. So where my thing is this is you are a resourceful individual. I guess where I'm kind of going with this. Where did you pick up some of these traits along the way? Yeah.
So this is the actual hammer.
That's the hammer?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is Carly and Taylor's hammer, by the way. So I still haven't given it back. So that's the hammer from the event. It just still floats around my house. Resourceful, honestly, I have to credit my parents a lot. My dad was very hands-on, always had 100 hobbies, picked up video games from him, picked up a little bit of word working, and just kind of an attitude of get it done, fix it. A great example is I got my first car, and I was hopping in, and he's like, "Hey, where are we headed?" I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get my oil changed." And he looks at me and he goes, "No, you're not." And he goes, I was like, "Well, I need to get it changed." He goes, "Go to Walmart, get the stuff, come back, we'll do it here." And it just became a thing where not knowing how to do things, sometimes you just figure them out. And you have the ability to adapt and grow. So it was always kind of one of those things that I just tried to sort things out, tried to play around. I was encouraged to be inventive and kind of a little crazy about that. So picked up a little bit of trades here and there. And I've always just been, I love a lot of different things. It's fun to kind of bounce around and try new things. And sometimes they fail miserably. So I think I had to make that drawer 3 or 4 times and bought a bunch of things that didn't work. But it was just, I knew what I wanted to do. And so I tried to approach it in a way that was just kind of fix it and get it done. And then moving into the career, I worked in events. And sometimes we had everything we needed and sometimes we didn't. I didn't know what a production company was. It was just, you are the production company, go get it done. You don't know how to build a stage, learn, because the concert starts in 4 hours. Yeah. So it's just it's the fun attitude and approach of just going at it, and you're probably going to fail, and failing's fine. Just keep going.
So you've worn a lot of different hats throughout different roles that you've had, and can you talk a little bit about like your journey to getting to where you are now? Because you mentioned it briefly, kind of like with the spirits and tobacco and stuff like that. Like, could you get into that a little bit more?
Yeah, I would say the majority of my background is experiential marketing. I went to school for something to be a doctor, actually. Decided in the middle of a zoology class that wasn't good for me because I didn't care. So went ahead and swapped degrees, graduated entertainment business, went into booking bands right away. The band booking wasn't really my thing, didn't really like it. Part of that was actually building events, and at an event I was actually recruited to go run a sampling program for tobacco. So I worked for Camel Cigarettes, a couple of different companies over about 5-6 years. Learned a lot of field marketing aspects of things because we were all really remote. Worked in Oklahoma, worked in Chicago, and then I started running Pernod Ricard for the sampling program for the on-premise. I don't know what they're doing hiring me. I wasn't ready for it, but I told them I was, and it worked. Ended up running probably one of the biggest sampling programs of the country. We did about 1 million. We bought about 1 million samples a year. So we were sampling a lot of people over a lot of brands. We had the attitude, and I had the attitude that yes, we can do that. And then we'd go figure out how to do it. And it became fun. Challenges were interesting and new. After that, I actually moved with a friend to a company called Mosaic, did a little bit of light work. We threw one of the biggest events I've ever been a part of and probably will be a part of, which was Whatever USA on Bud Light. Played around with Miller Coors as their on-premise specialist, kind of group account director overseeing all the on-premise activations. I spent a little time with Lush Life doing the Bar Institute thing and met amazing and wonderful people throughout that, which, that network is just still phenomenal. Love seeing those people that I met at Bar Institute and all those things, just so many relationships that have resounded there. And then I went over to WhistlePig, went brand side for a couple of years and built the Midwest up. Got handed a great program in a great space and just kind of amplified that. And then moved on to this, just kind of looking for fun new challenges. At some point, bigger was better. And now it's more fun to do things that no one else has done or very few people have done, and kind of build out a space that I can be very proud of and look back and be like, I helped build the field. That's my goal. It's my hope. Try not to screw it up.
Right. That's dope, man. I mean, so now to ask you that, so you in 5 years, what do you see yourself doing? Do you still see yourself maybe staying in the industry, or do you see yourself being like, okay, I've kind of walked those steps. Yeah. I'm going to take on a new challenge and just say, fuck it, and challenge myself? Somewhere
in the industry, and I don't know where that's going to be. I could still be with this company building even a bigger empire in the non-alc world, that could be something slightly different. You know, a lot of people ask me if I ever want to own a bar, and I don't. So it's one of those things that I'd love to see where it leads. Right now, my biggest goal is my own personal happiness, my own personal, you know, health, and making sure I'm happy. I thought about going back to the agencies that helped build my career and kind of shape who I am. And honestly, I think that is not where I want to be. Just from the basis of I don't want to work 80 hours a week. And I did it, and it was fun and accomplished a lot of great things. But in the grand scheme of things, it'll be hopefully something that's bringing me happiness. Seeing the people I love, seeing all the folks out in the trade, you know, doing amazing things. And hopefully I'll be in a position to be able to support friends and help them grow personally and professionally.
So from the amount of laughter to we've shared tears together, we've ran the gamut of things. One of the things that I enjoy about you the most, and I think that probably anyone listening to this interview right now or listening to this in the future that can hear this in your voice, is just how genuine you are and how much of a real ass dude you are, man. So now that I have this space, I want to say thank you for being my friend, but also too, thank you for just being like a solid cat. But now that I've said that, we got that out the way. So now you said you don't want to own a bar. Now I don't either, because you know that is a whole nother mother. But if you did own a bar, what would be the name of your bar, and what kind of bar would it be?
Wow. That's a great question.
That's why I asked it.
I know. You know, I love the idea of an arcade bar, just because I love video games and kind of what my passion is. I don't know what the name would be. I mean, yeah, you got me. Come back to me later. I'll think about that for 10 minutes and make something up.
So now you have your own video game company, and you have your #1 selling video game. What is it, and what kind of game is it?
I just love first-person shooters, so it'd probably have to be a first-person shooter. Either that or something like kind of retro, old school. You know, I'm a big comic book nerd. You know, it's one of those things that I love me some Spider-Man. So like a Spider-Man Venom game, the Ultimate Carnage game years ago. They came out on Sega or Super NES, whichever one.
Do you remember
yeah,
Killer Instinct?
Yeah. So that's, I mean, if you look right there, that's actually a Venom picture. So yeah, to have something around that kind of retro fun would be just a blast. Played some decent Spider-Man games over the years. I don't have a PlayStation, I have an Xbox, so I don't have access to all the new ones that came out. But yeah, I think something fun that would be a little retro, but either first-person shooter or Spider-Man Venom team up. Okay.
So I know you've been a pretty snazzy dresser over the time that I've gotten to know you. You
I just stole this.
You definitely know how to put together an outfit. So you're getting dressed up, and this is the first place that you're going. Once we get, the all clear, we get maybe it's like a dream world. We're in the eye of the storm. The pandemic is gone for like 12 hours. Where are you going, and what shoes are you wearing?
Oh, let's see here. First time out, I gotta wear my cowboy boots. I think it's got to be the cowboy boots, just because I'm going out in boots. I'm happy. First place I want to go when it opens back up is the Drifter. A little speakeasy bar in Chicago.
Yeah.
And the Drifter, I've never had a home bar per se, like a bar that I felt like it's been my home that I've gone to 3 or 4 days a week, that kind of thing. But I've always felt at home at the Drifter. the staff, the feel of it, just everything about it. It's been one of my favorite bars. Liz built an environment that just feels right for me. So yeah, I'd throw on the cowboy boots, I'd go to the Drifter, I'd have a beautiful cocktail, probably watch some burlesque, and just be a happy, happy camper.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you on that. The Drifter is a dope spot. So now we got hired by Vince McMahon, right? And he's like, yo, I need you to put together a tag team. I need you to put together an act. So what's the name of our tag team and what's our act?
I mean, Eye on the Prize is the name of the tag team.
Ooh, I like that. That was quick too. I like that.
Yeah, I'll like to explain the eye thing later. And that'd be EYE. So, I mean, I think our act's more like a comedy duo. You know, we're a little bit more Laurel Hardy than anything else. You know, a little physical comedy, you know, and take it old school. Just go with an old school comedy act that has people confused and laughing their butts off out of their chairs.
I'm with it. Oh man, Eye on the Prize. That was so good. I mean, like literally, like you said it in my face. I think before my brain could react, my face was already smiling. Like my face was like, oh man. My brain was like, hey, did he just say what I think he said? Yeah, he said it. So this industry has been something that I think a lot of us have it's a huge mental toll. You know, it's something that I think with the pandemic, I think that most people that I've talked to, even though, you know, financial situations may not be great, they've had a chance to mentally reset in some ways. How do you feel about kind of I should say, how are you feeling as far as where you are with the current situation where we are right now?
Personally, I'm in a good space for the most part. You know, the jobs kept me very busy. We've been growing this year, in pandemic, which has been, I wouldn't say unique, but I'm very thankful for. So I've been very busy, and it kind of went from a little slow to very fast towards the end of last year. So for that, I'm very thankful. To be honest, I'm extremely empathetic for the people in the industry that are more challenged. I have many thoughts and feelings about the bars closing down and opening back up and closing back down. Like in Chicago, we're going through a reopen right now, and to be honest, it's a little scary because it's just, you know, oh, it's Monday, by the way, Saturday you can open back up, and that doesn't give anybody time for preparation and everything else. So, you know, overall, I've been okay, but I miss seeing friends. I really do. I miss seeing the people that I love, either of them serving me a drink or running into people. You know, I don't miss the hustle of kind of being out 4 or 5 nights a week, but I do miss the you know, going to somebody's event and seeing 30 friends I haven't seen in, you know, a while. So I think that mixture is good. You know, my partner, she's a bartender, beverage director, so she's been in the mix, so I'm kind of in the front lines with her. And it's been one of those things we've tried to reach out to as many people as we possibly can, communicate with as many people as we can. It's tough right now, and I think that people understand that, and that we're trying to get through it. You know, not everyone's in the same situation, not everyone's in the same boat. You know, we're all weathering the same storm, but we're all in different spots doing that. So yeah, overall, it's been pretty decent for me. I can't lie, I've been very thankful, but I'm definitely empathetic to the situation for a lot of people.
Word. So I'm gonna run but I'm gonna bring you back now. Before, I don't want to leave on that last question because that one was like a little, you know, like, you know, we went from Eye on the Prize to like, so before I let you get out of here, real quick, favorite fast food, if you had to have it, what are you having?
Because I can't get it, In-N-Out. Just a cheeseburger, fries, and a shake. I know everybody wants to go animal style and everything else. I just want straightforward. Backup is Taco Bell.
Word.
Yeah, I love me some Taco Bell, and Lindsay hates it. So we, when she's not in the car, I swing by.
I think okay, in and out. I think maybe I could figure out a way, maybe overnight something. You might have to figure
And
out a way to reheat it, but
every time I land LAX, get the rental car, drive to In and Out right by the airport, and I'm a happy camper all the time I'm in LA.
well, Double D, brother, man, I can't thank you enough. But we're just getting started as always.
Yeah,
So you sit right there,
can do.
and I'm gonna be bringing you back very, very soon. Thank you,
Awesome.
my guy. So we have just hung out with the lovely David Dorton, my guy I call Double D, the eye on the prize, my fellow Cyclopsian brother. There's something that we'll explain to you guys later. But we're going to be moving on to another one of my favorite humans, and this is Dallas Smith. I met this lovely lady at camp. We were on A team together. We poured milk on each other. It was an epic week. We picked up trash. We were in the rain. We had the soggiest, wettest shoes I think I've ever had in my life. But now we're here on Home Bars Live. Dallas, how you doing, love?
Hi, Mo. Thanks for having me.
Hey, hey. So again, this is Home Bars Live. Thank you for coming on. One of those things that I am always blessed to have, good friends and good people join me and spend time out of their day and spend a little bit with me. And I see you are currently like chilling in your setup that you got going on at the house. So you got some bottles behind you. What you got sitting back there, Miss Smith?
This is subject to change. I live with 3 other lovely ladies, 2 of which are bartenders. So what is up here is subject to change based on who is drinking what at any given point. So this is what is out right now. I live in Brooklyn, so it's a railroad apartment. So we also have 2 other cabinets with alcohol. So this is currently what's out. I think the Belvini has been my favorite lately, but that is subject to change on any given day. I do have a couple cool things that I brought out. This strainer I actually made at a Belvini event. They brought like 12 of us to a steel workshop, and we took a safety class, and then we made, it's kind of ugly, but it's mine and I love it. But they let us make and weld these together, and then they got us drunk and fed us. It was a wonderful event.
Well, I mean, I've never made a strainer in my life, so I mean, that's definitely really cool. I mean, what are you talking about? Like, that's dope.
And then, of course, there was like the certain more creative architects in the group who had like beautiful ones, and of course, I was like, I like my ugly one, whatever, man. But yeah, this is homemade bitters that I made that I have not cooked off yet. And then I actually got really excited looking at David's collection because while trying to keep the cost of buybacks down at my job, Boilermaker, I actually have a bottle of Whistle Pig at work because I've been giving out my own personal bottles instead of charging the business. So I have a bottle of Whistle Pig at work. I have Wild Turkey in my well. I got excited looking at David. I'm like, oh yeah, me too.
So we had a chance to spend one of the best weeks of my life. It was crazy. We were lifting trash. We were doing a lot of different things, but we also built a family unit. And I wanted you to maybe talk about a little bit about that week as a whole, because for me it was a blast. And for people that haven't been, so the place I'm talking about is Camp Runabun. We were on A team, and for those of you guys that don't know what A team is we're basically trash people. We pick up trash for an entire week behind roughly 100 and change industry professionals. So you got bartenders from all over the country that we go hang out with them for a week, but we're basically like they're janitors. But I wouldn't want to be a janitor for any other group. It was so much fun.
It's funny, when I started at Boilermaker, one of my coworkers had been to camp, and just hearing someone over talk about it, I was like, that sounds fun. That also sounds very like diabolical. Just, what are you talking about? 200 drunk bartenders, like horny drunk bartenders in one place that you have to keep safe the entire time. And then you go your first year, and it's like, in a good way, you like everyone's insecurities like sometimes overlap, or in the sense of like everyone just wants everyone to do better,
Mhm.
and everyone wants everyone to be safe. And it's crazy. It's like if one day you're not feeling well, someone wants to take care of you, and then the next day you're doing great and someone needs help. You know what I mean? It's just like the Lush Life did a great way of making sure the hierarchy of like safety and at the same time we're all peers still because we're all living this life together, is crazy. It's still crazy. And it's crazy today that like Mo, you and I could not go. I mean, you and I could go 6 months without talking, and then you hit me up and you're like, hey, you want to do this live interview? And I'm like, yeah, Mo, it's like I saw you
Yeah.
yesterday. I would fly back to Cameroon. I'm like, right
Yeah.
now. And like, yeah, little things like no one will ever really understand until they experience it. Like, yeah, you just casually mentioned that we poured milk on ourselves in like 100-degree weather in Kentucky. And people are like, what actually is happening at camp? And it's like, you gotta go, man. And then like, and then getting accepted to 18, just like being so excited because all the lessons you learn the first time you go, going back to help, it's like, oh, I can't wait to teach these other humans that like, no, people actually care about you. Like we're all,
Yeah.
and different creativity levels, and like yoga class in the morning, and then you're kind of drunk by noon, and then you come back to a pool party and you relax and don't drink if you don't want to. I like that David talks a lot about like the eye rolling of people ordering non-alcoholic drinks. I'm a full supporter. Like at camp, it's like, no, you need to relax and fucking relax. It's not, there is no eye roll at camp. Yeah. It's a forever experience.
Yeah, one of the crazier moments of just kind of that whole thing is that camp has been so influential for me, kind of a lot in my circle, because Mary Kelly, who's actually producing right now, I met Mary at camp, and me and her got tight. And then fast forward, she's working for Samson & Surrey, and I do an event for them in DC a couple of years ago. And then fast forward, now I'm working for Samson & Surrey, and a lot of it comes from the fact that I had someone in the room already that was willing to vouch for me, and granted, I do whatever, but it's crazy. It's all about who you know in this world, and I think in this profession. So it's really interesting to kind of see how a week that you spend with a group of people that you never knew could change your life. But saying that, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about let's say you're writing a book. We're writing the autobiography. We're writing your book. What's the title of your book, and what is the last quote that's in that book that you want blown up for people to see?
The title, okay. Oh man, especially these questions are. I like the question I asked David. I like this question, but like during COVID, I feel like all of my answers for everything is different. Like if you would ask me this question a year ago, I'm sure that my answer would be different.
That's the beauty of it, though. We all evolve and change.
Okay, for the title, I might go a little bold in the sense of I've been trying to pull off just being called Dallas, like no last name. Like I wanted to get my name changed. Like I want to be like Cher or Seal. I just want to be Dallas. Everything else after Dallas sucks. So I might go bold and just Dallas, and maybe like in parentheses a non-Texas name. That's what I want. And
Dallas, a non-Texas.
Inspired by Cher and Seal, the one name fuckers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then I think maybe the last sentence of my book, depending on how it would go, would be consent is sexy. Consent is sexy. I want to end on that note. I want consent is very fucking sexy.
I think you literally probably came up with the best book title I think I've ever heard. Dallas, a non-Texas name, inspired by one name motherfuckers. Like, who is not picking up that book on the shelf? If I just walk by and you just like, what's up? And it just that with that title, how do you not look at that? That has to be a bestseller.
I feel like Seal. I've seen Seal like walk up to people on the street and just be himself. I feel like Seal, if I tagged him in a post, would be like, yeah, I want to meet this bitch. I want to know.
So, I mean, it's crazy. So, like, I always tell people, like, if I could sing like Michael McDonald, or I had the talent of like Seal, because like Seal, he got like, it looked like someone walked on his face with like golf cleats, but like the brother could walk into a room and he is gonna break everyone's heart. So he's like, oh. So if you could have a talent that you think that you could walk in, or if you wanted to take someone's talent, what talent would it be that you want to have that would be like your just ace in the hole? I love Seal, by the way. Shout out to Seal.
I want to be able to speak any language at any given time. I want to be able to speak and be able to understand any language at any given time. Is that a magic trick or is that a talent?
So you just want to be a spy. You just out here just trying to.
I am not the feds. I am not the feds. Yeah, can you imagine going to a different country and walking to a bar and they're like, "Who's this white bitch?" And all of a sudden, like my Portuguese just comes out like no problem. I don't know. Maybe it's a sexy. I guess it's more of a magic trick or whatever.
Well, no, honestly though, I mean, to kind of touch on that, that's something I've also thought about as well too, because I think that like language, there's some things that are universal. And one of those isn't really language because we speak different languages, so their language barriers are so huge that if you could, pass those and you were the one that was able to speak, like you said, any language, it would kind of make you like, I don't know, you'd probably take over the world in some weird way.
Maybe this also intertwines a little bit of consent is sexy in the sense of like, I think you're also hinting at body language. So maybe we don't need to speak the same language to understand when someone wants or needs something or vice versa. But
would you listen to that Robin Thicke album before you came on here, girl? What the hell going on? So talking about music, if you were to start a band, what's the name of your band? And how many members are in it? And what instrument are you playing?
Okay.
You can have a big band. You can have like a little 3-piece. You can have like a little percussion section. Like what's?
I want like okay. I want like a sexy, smaller jazz band. I want to play the saxophone. I feel like everyone that plays the saxophone. It's a very sexy. I want to play the saxophone. Well, I want to play it well. Now can I go back? I want that to be my talent. Never mind. I want to play the saxophone with Seal and you. That's what I want. And Shaquille O'Neal. If Shaq can come too. I want Seal, Maurice Brooks, Shaquille O'Neal, Dallas, and a sexy jazz band.
That would be.
It's a cover band too. It's a cover band.
Get Shaq on the keys. Could you imagine like Shaq on the keyboard with them big ass fingers just boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, I'm digging this song. Boom, boom, boom.
What are you gonna play, Maurice?
I always wanted to play the bass because I thought like the bass was dope. But honestly, as a kid, my favorite instrument was a saxophone because I was a Kenny G fan. Even though Kenny G doesn't play a saxophone, and I watched The Simpsons, so I used to think playing a saxophone was cool. And then my mom got me a clarinet, and I gave up on music forever. So that's my music story.
I don't know why playing a clarinet is so funny to me. I'm just imagining you at camp with a clarinet singing Sunflower on your clarinet.
Well, I mean, I think anyone that was in music club, we all played hot cross buns, which is, I think if I ever had a bar, it would be the name of my bar. Even though that probably wouldn't go over well in San Francisco because there'd be so many different ways to look at that.
I was going to say it's going to be part strip club too, male or female.
It'd be so many things. So now the COVID has been something I think that has grounded us all in a sense that we thought this industry was recession proof. We thought that regardless of what happened, our doors would be able to be open. We didn't foresee kind of this taking place. now that this has happened and we're kind of living through it and going through it, what are some of the things you're kind of looking for as hopefully we're going towards the other side and the uphill versus more downhill?
Man, I don't know what's actually possible or what would I like, because what would I like is like, I don't know if there's a fund or some way to like all these bars that I love and are dear to me that could come back, if that's a possibility. I don't know. More of it is obviously definitely financial for myself, but also for like my peers or even my boss, like watching him struggle, like I'm the only one in my house who returns back to work, but like trying to keep my hours down so it doesn't affect my unemployment. Also trying to get people their jobs back at the same time. Whoever feels safe enough to leave the house. I don't know. Like, I guess it's the camper in me, Camp Runamuck in me, that I want just the survival to go back to being realistic instead of scared all the time. But man, if I could start a GoFundMe or do events like these to raise money for bars that close, if it's possible for them to reopen, that would be ideal for me. It's just because I don't know how to look that far ahead to the future. It's hard to like, by next week's, I feel like something else is going to explode and then that answer would have to change. You know what I mean? For right now, it's just like, I want to keep everyone alive. How do I do that? Like,
fair. So, yeah. Okay. So you are the president of the universe. And you have, all right, we're gonna play it. We're gonna go Dragon Ball Z. It's Dragon Ball Z. We've gotten all the Dragon Balls. We've called in the dragon, and you got one wish. And what would that be? What would that one wish be?
Oh, Maurice, don't do this to me.
No, that's the point. Because see, I hit you with like Barbara Walters meets like Carrot Top with a little bit of like Montel Williams. And you know, it's just an interview sandwich.
Interview sandwich. I only get one?
One. No, I only get one. Yes, you only get one. I mean, if you get this, you can't do like you get 8 wishes. That's easy. You gotta choose the one wish that you want.
And I'm not gonna be the guy who's like, I want one more wish. That's what I wish for.
And if you do that, the hand blows up. Yeah, because then you just keep wishing for one more wish. So you only get one.
Assuming that this wish is in a COVID-free time.
You literally get you get to pick whatever. That you are the president of the universe of the Dragon Ball Z world. This is whatever you want it to be.
Everyone in the world has to go to Camp Runamuck for a week.
I feel bad for Lindsay and Brittany and the whole Lush Life staff because
with consent.
there's going to be billions of people coming through those doors, and their hair is gonna fall and grow gray really fast.
You got 4 years to complete it, just so we can break it up. You got 4 years to complete it.
Really fast. So, Boilermaker is a place that holds a special place in my heart. I had a chance to go to New York. I was there for training, and on my last night, came back, no sleep, I was no place to stay, was getting ready to go to the airport, was doing an all-nighter, like, yo, no sleep till Frisco type of thing. But I was in Brooklyn, kind of, sort of. And tell me about, what do you love about Boilermaker? Because for me, it was, you guys made it to be like a home for someone that hasn't been there, an out-of-towner, to be able to walk in and feel like he was home. That was absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough. So what does Boilermaker mean to you?
Well, I have the utmost loyalty. I think it is the longest time I've ever had a job, and they've taken a lot of risk on me. I've learned more than I've ever learned anywhere else. And I'm glad that you said you feel like you went in and you felt at home too. That's how it felt for me. Like, I went in barely knowing anything, and 5 years later, like, James Toon, my boss, is still a friend of mine, I would say. You know what I mean? Like, we're owned by Cocktail Kingdom. It's just on loyalty, on loyalty, on loyalty. And I sometimes get annoyed with the word dive bar, because I'll go to a dive bar and it's not the same as when you go to Boilermaker, because it's so personal to me. You know what I mean? But from the outside in, I'm sure someone's like, oh, it's just some dive pub. But it's like, no, walk in, and it's very homey. From little things like Boilermaker is obviously a shot and a beer. It's also a welder, and my boss's dad owned a welding shop in like Russia. And there's all these like, there's a little bit of him, there's a little bit of his parents, there's a little bit of us, you know, like we're allowed to put cocktails on the menu. And again, going back to David and the eye rolling, Sam, who was my boss, Sam Gautier, would be upset if he ever saw like us judge somebody for ordering like a non-alcoholic mojito. No, if that's what someone wants, that's what they want. There's just like a weird amount of loyalty, you know. Years, of course, I've got in trouble there, but because I feel like the respect and the loyalty is so strong, it's just like, hey, Dallas, get your shit together. And because I respect them right back, it's like, oh, okay, I will. Sorry, like I don't know. It's not just the employees. You know, when you go to a bar, and you can tell the employees hate their bosses. Something's wrong. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, James Toon has definitely pissed me off once or twice, but I also like still love working there. I still love him and respect him. And I just feel like we do the same to our guest. Like, I don't know, whatever they need, I'll run across the street to the bodega if I don't have the mixer that they want. I'll be like, 2 minutes, I'll just run and go get it and be right back. I don't know. For the people, by the people.
So I hate to stop you there, but that is the truth. Because you did that night. We were sitting around a table, PK Alley, Matt, they had all come down, we were chilling. And I don't know if someone asked for like, I don't know, it was a white Russian or it was something. And I remember you being like, we don't have it, but I'll go and get it. And I was like, no, it's cool. But you're like, no, I'll go get it. And just for you to say that, like, yeah, that's exactly kind of like that environment. And again, it's one of my favorite places to go to because of that environment. So where are you going when you get a chance to get on a plane or not even necessarily on a plane? Like, where is Dallas going? The same question I asked David. You're getting dressed up, you're putting on your favorite pair of shoes. Like, for one, what shoes are you wearing? And two, where are you going?
Shoes, I'm gonna wear my high top Aldo boots. I'm a shorts, tank top, and high top boots kind of gal for sure. I'll actually do my hair, which is also like fun for me because I don't really do that. Right now, how I'm feeling today is I want to go home. I want to go back to Southern California. I'm from the desert, so I want to see the dirt. I want to see my dog. I want to lay in some dirt, Mo. That's what I want to do. I know that's silly, but my mom is a really good cook. I want to go home. I want tacos. I want In-N-Out, and I want to lay in the dirt with my dog. That's what I want. I love the desert.
Being from the desert, like, when was the first time you encountered a scorpion?
Oh, it's actually in Mexico. I lived in Mexico when I was a kid for a bit. I was actually in the same year, I was actually bit by a snake in the exact same desert. But, okay,
you got bit by. So what kind of snake was this? You got to get to the snake story. This is dope. I like. Yes, it was like.
It was a garden snake. It wasn't important. And someone had handed it to me, and they're like, "Just don't drop it." And I was like, "Okay." And then he actually bit my face, and he got my lip. And I dropped it, and they didn't see it. They're like, "We told you not to drop it." And I was like, "It bit me." They're like, "No, it didn't." And then I put my hands down and I was bleeding and they're like, oh shit, it bit you. I was like, what did I just say? Like, didn't believe me. Why'd you drop it? It bit me.
I think you are the first snake bite victim on Home Bars Live and you got bit in the face. This is great and it's crazy. So I don't want to talk about stereotypes, but you know, kind of, you know, what they say. And, you know, so anyway, you want to...
I'm a poisonous bitch, I guess. I don't know.
So scorpions, like, are you afraid of them? Like, is it something that bothers you? Like me, myself, I'm like, oh, cool, scorpions. But like, are you?
Growing up, no, it wasn't that type of desert. Like, you're more likely to like run into some cactus or like, to be honest, like a mountain lion. Like, cats like to live in the higher ups of the desert. So things like that. Like, I remember growing up, like you would hear of a neighbor's dog who got attacked by a mountain lion and taking a walk. And that was like a little more, I don't know. I also hate raccoons. I feel like I was more scared of raccoons than I was of scorpions. Like,
so raccoons, that's I'm so glad you said that. I'm gonna share a little bit of something with you and everyone. The craziest thing I've ever eaten in my life was actually raccoon. My
What?
grandfather, I was about 9 or 10 years old. My grandfather called me out, barbecue pit. I take a bite out of it, and I'm like, yo, this tastes really weird. He's like, oh boy, that's that coon. And I'm like, oh wow, no, thank you. So my question to you is, what's the craziest thing that you've eaten that you were like, yeah, I'm not eating that again?
Uh, probably crickets.
Were they
That's
like cooked crickets or live crickets?
I've only had cooked crickets. I've definitely never eaten a live one, but it's a huge in Mexico. It goes back a long way, but like they'll just put fried crickets on like guacamole, and to me that's I can't do it, man. I can't do it. I tried it because I'll try anything. I really will, but nah, I'm good. The texture, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I've actually had crickets, and let me tell you, I've had crickets and mealworms, and let me tell you, coon, mm, way worse.
Is it
Coons can
gamey?
do this.
Oh,
Crickets,
gross.
yeah, like they got 5 fingers and they like grab stuff and eat garbage. Um,
I had a shark once, but I will say it wasn't that bad. It kind of just tasted like, I don't know, white meat. Like it was not exciting, if you will. But I was excited to like, oh, I mean, a shark taco. But then after
huh.
that, I was like, I don't know. I'd rather just get chicken. I don't know.
Shark is something I've never tried, and I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's
I
huh.
think I think I'll pass on the raccoon. I think I'll
Yeah.
pass.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you've had shark, I've had raccoon, so I think we'll both pass on both of those things. But my second to last question before we bring David back in is the first one is if you are going to have like your last meal, you're on death row, they're about to call your number in like an hour and a half, but you get to pick a last meal. What are you having for your meal?
I'm probably having I want like a southern style fried chicken, mashed potato, mac and cheese, cornbread, bourbon, and maybe like a taco on the side. That's what I want.
Is the taco like dessert or something? Like
Yeah, because
I like
I don't really like sweets. I like savories. The taco's dessert. Yeah, that's what I want. I want spicy fried chicken. That's what I want.
word. Okay. So you're having a concert and this is your concert. This is like your birthday blowout, your 21st. You're able to pick anyone you want, whether living or dead. And I need to know who's hosting your concert as well, too. Because you gotta have a host.
Okay. Obama's hosting with the whole fam. Well, no, just Obama. Well, I mean, they can come, but he's the host. And then I want Shaquille O'Neal DJ set. I want a Shaquille O'Neal DJ set. If anyone knows anything about Dallas, it's Shaq is my favorite human of all time. I'm serious. I have his retired
I'm
Lakers number tattooed on me.
seriously starting to gather that because you dropped Shaq like twice in this. He's in the band on the keys and he's like DJing. Like,
Stick to what you know, man. Stick to what you know. I have him on with his big ass hands.
fair enough. I mean, he was my favorite player growing up, and yeah, I dig it. So, okay, so we got Shaq got a DJ set. Obama is the host.
Mhm.
So I need your mid and I need your closer.
What's the? Do you need my what? My closer?
Like I need your mid,
Okay.
who's like it, and I need your closer.
Okay. Now I got to rearrange it. So Shaq will be the closer. The
Okay.
opener. Oh, let's ease into. Okay. The opener will be Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
The middle. No. Hold on. Go back. The mid is gonna be Chance the Rapper.
Okay.
Closer Shaquille O'Neal because that'll be just be the lit party. Oh man, who sang it? Obama's inauguration, the first one.
Tupac? I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Oh, the opener's gotta be someone good, like Frank Sinatra. I want something. I want to ease into this
Okay.
lit party, like
So we're
Frank
gonna go-
Sinatra, followed by Chance the Rapper, followed by Shaquille O'Neal, in that order.
I feel like everyone like under 40 is gonna leave or they're gonna leave when Frank comes on, not knowing what they're in store for, and then everyone over 40 is gonna leave after he gets off because they're gonna be like, "Hey, who's that guy?" Then Shaq's gonna be like, "Hey, I'm gonna play." So actually, you know what? Shaq actually was as a kid, you know, one of my favorite players, and he actually is a fairly accomplished rapper. Another small note, Shaq has one of my favorite video games as a kid called Shaq Fu. So if you were, which I'm guessing you might have played. So if you were creating a video game, what would your video game be, and what kind of game would it be?
I'm the opposite of David in the first person shooter games. I'm good with my hand-eye coordination is not so good. So mine would be more of like a puzzle game or like you have a quest and you have to finish the quest. So I don't know. Actually, it'll be Questlove on a quest. That's what it'll be. It'll be Questlove on a quest. And it'll be him trying to get around Jimmy Fallon's set. And then you just do with all these missions. You gotta find your drum set, and then you gotta find your DJ set, and then mine's gonna be like a puzzle game. That's it. Questlove has a quest. So, I'm working on it.
So Dallas, thank you. Don't go anywhere because I think Double D's still checking in. So Dave, check back in, dog.
Thank you, Mo.
There it is. So this has actually been the one time that I've had more D's on the stage than I could ever account for because we have Dallas and David Dorton. But both of you guys are amazing individually, and I can't wait for you guys to meet. One of the things I want to say to you both is thank you. This has been such a great interview for me because I'm getting a chance to talk to friends that I don't talk to enough. That's on me and on you guys as well. But before we get out of here, what is one thing that you would like to leave with your younger self that you would want to say to your younger self that has seen everything or thinks they've seen everything? And David, I'm going to start with you.
I think focus on happiness a little bit earlier in my life. To be honest, I put a lot of who I was early on into what my job was, and kind of how I impacted other people through that, as opposed to focusing a little bit more, I guess, on my personal happiness. So I would say focus a little bit more on the personal happiness, build something that you're going to be happy with long run. I don't really have regrets per se. I feel like everything that I did created who I am now. But a little bit of happiness, a little more happiness in everybody's life's a little bit better thing. So,
Right. Dallas.
I think David's answer is great. I definitely know the feeling of putting what I do professionally first instead of my own personal happiness. And for me, I think it'd be more like stay safe and go home. And I don't just mean go home like you're drunk at a bar and you don't know when to stop. I just mean go home in the sense of self-care. Go home. I don't know, self-care, if I would have done that sooner. It took me way too long to figure that out. I feel like just that it's okay to stay safe and I don't know, not please my bosses so much, but please myself. Again, self-help and happiness is definitely up there.
And don't have that last drink.
Yeah.
Go home.
Yeah. I mean, and that's real, I think you guys both are are walking down the same path, is that it's find your happiness, take care of yourself, be good to yourself, and do the things that you know are right for you. So, guys, thank you so much. This has been a wonderful Tuesday. And again, for all of you that have been hanging out at home, this is Home Bars Live, baby. We do this every single Tuesday. Same time, same channel, Samson Story Television. Before we go, where can they find you guys if they want to find you on the Instagram or Facebook if you want to give that up? If not, we can just cut the check.
Go ahead, Dallas.
I am at Dallas Yadig, DallasYadigg, and that is both my Instagram. That's all of my handles across the board. Twitter, all that.
Instagram, Dorton in Chicago, or Proof Not Required if you want a little more cocktail focus for the work one. But yeah, Facebook, it's just me, my name. There's probably a couple of me floating around, but I'm pretty accessible.
Word. So, all of you beautiful people out there watching and listening and checking in with us, this has been another episode of Home Bars Live. We are checking out, and we will see you again, same time, same channel next week, y'all. Bye.
Bye, Mom.